So you described that Russia's manipulation of World War II history is part of propaganda and basically cognitive warfare. So, in your opinion, how should the Western policymakers think about the security risks that arise when history becomes part of the modern information warfare?
Well, I think this is something that's very important. I'll just speak in the United States, and as someone who's involved in educating young Americans, we need to do a better job teaching history and making sure that people in our country understand the history. Again, if you're being presented with information where you have no real depth of knowledge of the issue, it's very easy to be manipulated. When you know the facts, when you know what happened actually, we'll just use the example of the Second World War, you can then sometimes push back and think critically about what you're being presented with in a propaganda campaign, in a cognitive warfare campaign. And so that's one of the reasons I wrote the article. We need to do a better job in the United States of educating people, educating young people and older people and policymakers about what the real facts were. So when the Russians argued to them that we single-handedly won the war, we suffered, we bore the brunt of the German, the Nazi aggression, we need to be able to push back and say, well, actually, there's some facts here that you need to understand from our perspective that are very important for you to understand, that you paid a great price, but so did we, and so did other allies, and that we all fought against that evil together, right? When you do that, my experience with the Russians is when you're capable of doing that, they actually respect it, and they kind of want it. Unfortunately, over and over again, I see too many Americans that don't know the history, and they just sit and listen passively, and then they're easily manipulated. And I don't like that.
That's true. The people who don't know the history, it's very easy to really be manipulated.